Is playing ranked too hard for you? Do you drink pain on a daily basis? Is trying to learn and adapt from your mistakes hurt your one brain cell? Introducing the mistake of Season 3, Z Broly. Fast command grabs. Armor. Some of the best zoning tools in the entire game make Z Broly one of the most easy, brain-dead characters to play. Z Broly is truly one of the biggest pieces of garbage to play against, and I'm here to tell you what's so good about him and how to play against him. Let's start with his normals. Z Broly's normals are basically all good, because Arc Systems, when told to give a drawback, said fuck it. His 5L is incredibly big, able to hit characters out of the air, not to mention the second and third hit of his auto combo come back after reflect, and have the tracking of a smart gun. Also, someone had the bright idea of giving every other button in his kit besides his L, armor, because Arc Systems wanted to create the most brain-dead character that any Dragon Ball fan could use with their 2 brain cells without crying. His heavy attack also has armor, which can be charged to bait Vegito players, who also have the same brain capacity as Broly players. His down heavy is one of the best in the game, not because it hits at a good angle or anything, but because the fact that they decided to put armor on that as well. So even if you try to punish a reckless down heavy player, you'll still get hit and kicked into the air by a clearly superior player. Let's talk about his zoning. His ki blasts are big, and after the Season 3 patch, they have the ability to hit smaller characters. Someone also had the bright idea of making those ki blasts pass entirely through other ki blasts, which basically makes him the best zoner in the entire game. This is also why Dragon Ball FighterZ makes me want to die. On top of that nonsense, he also has anti-zoning tools. Because yes, Arc Systems said, fuck it, no, we already made a broken character, let's increase that brokenness and make basically every other zoning in the entire game useless. Probably the worst thing about Z Broly, his grabs. Not only is his light one extremely fast, so fast that it's actually faster than Dragon Ray, but it's also, of course, armor, meaning you could actually stutter your combos into this fast 17 frame grab. Yes, of course, you can't, well, get a combo after it, but who cares when you could just immediately level 3 again for another mix. But probably, in my opinion, the more annoying grab is his air grabs. His air grabs have, well, gained a infamous reputation of the saying, it can happen to anyone. Due to this command grab also having armor, and when they were designing this command grab, I don't know if this is a glitch or whatnot, but the developers of Arc Systems didn't exactly put the best of scaling. And I don't mean in the best of scaling for, like, the enemy, I mean the fact that Broly just has no scaling on this fucking grab. For some reason, you can get up to 66% or even a TOD by yourself by just using this fucking grab. It's gotten to a point where you just don't want to jump against Broly, but then again, you actually do want to jump against him because you gotta dodge the fucking command grab on the ground, so, you know, I guess just take the mix, bitch. His 236S, or his Eraser Blast, is his signature beam. It's really good for comboing as well as, you know, zoning out when you want to mix up the Ki Blast and catch somebody who's super dashing. On top of that, of course, it has armor, but it also has the ability to set up, which is great because, you know, we need more things on this fucking character. But probably one of the most cursed things on his, well, move list, besides everything else, is probably his Lariat Express. This is the move that makes me want to commit seppuku and fucking rip my hair out.
Try me, bitch.
Let's talk about it, shall we? So, the Lariat Express also has armor like every single other move in his kit. But unlike every other single move in his kit, it has unlimited armor. What do I mean by that? Well, it doesn't have a limit to how many times people can hit you before you just immediately get tossed into the wall. This is another good point to bring up something about his armor. See, Z Broly's armor has the special effect of activating on frame 4. What does this mean, you may ask? Well, it basically means you can beat Vanish with it. Yeah, I'm not joking. If you know your opponent is not going to be able to hit you when you do this, just throw out the fucking Lariat Express, the light one, and you'll basically regain your turn. And bear in mind, I also said he has unlimited armor with this move, so if they try to do something other than level 3, then prepare to be tossed into the atmosphere. Another thing to note about his Lariat Express, his heavy and medium one can carry you all the way to the corner, because of course it can, which you can immediately do a slow level 3 into grab into another level 3 to basically equal your entire health bar, or dare I say, even a TOD. Because yes, We need this. We needed this on this character, didn't we, huh? And unlike other characters that have armor, like Super Broly, he's not weak to lows or ki blasts. So, you know, he can just say, ha! But more on how the game plan works. So if you're fighting somebody who's mashing, you basically won. Just slow down your buttons a bit and he'll get tripped up every once in a while. If you're fighting a Vegito player, you basically just win. Just remember to lariat after every single block string. Just remember, you're playing Dragon Ball FighterZ. So if you go for a grab even once against these types of players, you'll either get beat, your armor will get cracked, or you'll just immediately get Z-vanished upon. Because, you know, that's what they do. Just beat their fucking heads against their controls as hard as they can. Now, if you're fighting a more respectful or timid player, you actually do the opposite. You want to go for grabs more due to the fact that his grab is insanely fast, and if you stutter long enough, you can actually hit the 17 frame grab, which basically makes them want to kill themselves and go back to Xenoverse. Another good tip for impulsive players is if they can't keep their finger off the super dash button, just remember, zoning in the air or the ground basically sends them to the upper atmosphere, and most players think they can super dash somebody who's in the air. But do remember, if Z Broly's air grab touches you, you basically lose your entire health bar. So you know, you don't really need an option in the air. Game plan on how to play against him. There isn't. Okay, well at least in this patch, you really can't do anything against Z Broly. I thought that when Roshi came out with the patch that it would fix everything, but why? Why did they do that? Why? I'll rant on that later. But if you want a definite counter to Z Broly, Kid Buu all the way. And you don't even need that many more brain cells than playing Z Broly. But you're probably asking, why do I want to play Kid Buu? Well, Kid Buu basically takes advantage of tall characters better than any other character in my opinion. The fact that his presser just constantly is unrelenting, especially on characters that are slightly taller than average, just basically equals you're going to take these 5 overheads and these 3 lows. Also, due to how tall Z Broly is, he's forced to take all of Kid Buu's overheads like a true actual mix, meaning no reflect in between and no like, oh, I'm just going to mash out. So if you play Kid Buu against Z Broly, you're basically going to have a field day. Just, you know, actually practice Kid Buu some or the Z Broly will just fuck you over. On top of that, you do not want to give him a chance to breathe. If you're Kid Buu, you need to be in there always. If you give him a chance to breathe, well, you're basically going to get zoned out or immediately grabbed into oblivion. As Nokami once said, it can happen to anyone. Now, a universal strategy is extremely hard to, well, do. I was going to say Roshi, but I mean, Roshi's actually a pretty technical character to use, and fighting a Z Broly is still extremely hard for Roshi. Now, if you want to kill a Broly flat out, then I recommend just immediately swapping him in and unrelenting pressure all the way. Hell, maybe even TOD on him if you really want to disrespect the Broly player, which, come on, I know everyone wants to do. My final thoughts. Well, this mistake of a character is a pain in the ass. But at least it isn't GT Goku levels of pain in the ass, which left me Vietnam flashback scars of, you know, immense levels. But my last statement, buff Goku Black, come on!